And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be episode 130. And in this episode of the MSK show, I am going to be having a conversation with content creator Kaida. What's going on, man? How are you doing?
What's up, man? I'm good. Just tired.
Tired? Day. What the heck? No way, man. You're like ripped, good looking, attractive, rich,
Well, you got one of those. You got one of those wrong. I won't tell you which one it is. But
but for those of you guys who don't know this, he had his first appearance on my previous podcast that got essentially retconned. So I figured, you know what, some time has passed, might as well have Kaida back for a first appearance on this show. Hopefully at some point I get to have Atreus on so we could, do the black guy thing, because the black guys, whenever they meet each other, when that part in the 2014 Godzilla movie, where that one Chinese guy was like, let them fight. That's what happens when black guys converge, essentially, So if Kaida can put in a good word to get Atreus on the show with me for a one-on-one, you do a homie a solid, right?
Yeah, I ask him. We'll see what happens. He doesn't really like collabing with a lot of folks, so we'll see. We'll see how it works.
What do you mean? Everyone who talks to me loves me. That's just kind of the effect I have on people,
Are you sure about that?
No, actually, no. Shit is terrible with women, but with men, it's better with men. Men are better at having conversations, thoughtful, provoking arguments. They treat me better. I just love men. I'm not gay. I love women, obviously, but men are better.
I don't know, man. That sounded kind of sus. That sounded super sus.
God, it did. Out of context, if someone just posted that on a Facebook reel or something, then it would be pretty bad. And I'd be
even in context, that was gay as hell.
Holy crap. So now your channel has obviously blown up. You're going to be hitting 8,000 subscribers, hopefully very soon, maybe even 10,000, very soon in the year, hopefully before the year's over. Do you have any advice for anyone that, is wanting to actually just be a content creator in general?
The only advice I could give would just be just do it. That's it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Just do it. If you got something to say, just cut that camera on and say whatever it is that you want to say. That's just pretty much it. It doesn't get any more simpler than that. It's just hey, you got something to say, you got a topic you want to talk about that, and just do the way that you wanted to do it too.
Mm-hmm. So essentially what you're saying is do the Shia LaBeouf thing. Just do it.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So I know people are going to want to talk about this because, I've been kind of cooking something up a little bit, So there was this situation that ended up happening with the whole Goonergate thing, as you know. It's kind of the talk of the town right now because, Miss Melanie Mack decided to bring it up again after people had pretty much just were like, let's just move on from this. So what's really crazy about this kind of discussion people are having is generally when I look at someone and actions, they always kind of speak louder than words. Now, the average person has to understand this. People can change, right? I think on the internet, it's foreign to people that people can change, right? Because anytime someone is like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm changing, people are like, oh my God, you were this way a few months ago. It's all about the timing of said change. If someone changed and they hadn't done a certain thing in I don't know, a year or so, 2 years or so, I think that's a pretty fair level of time there. But this kind of shift is just really, really weird, And if you look at some of the receipts that are out there, it's just bizarre, So for a lot of you who don't know, Pirate Nation, I posted a clip of the first Descendant, right? And it had this girl basically just dancing. She was in a onesie, actually. And then Melanie herself decided to call that Coomer bait or something, or Gooner bait, or whatever the freaking word is. Yeah. When in reality, she eventually admitted that she never even played the game. Meanwhile, this is someone that was heavily defending Stellar Blade, a game where the outfits you get to pick out that are optional are all insanely revealing. Okay.
Yep.
And then she also heavily she was talking about, Marvel Rivals, actually, another game that doesn't like have revealing outfits essentially, but they're kind of, let's say sexy, right? She didn't mind that at all, For the most part of it, people are just kind of pointing out the hypocrisy of it. That's like, if someone is supposed to be a Christian, right? And I'm supposed to believe this person is a Christian, why was this person literally 6 months ago, okay, or maybe like 8 months ago, when Stellar Blade was the hottest thing to talk about? Why in the world was she promoting that game? And the fact that it was uncensored, that's just kind of the biggest thing right there, Because if we're supposed to believe things that come out of this person's mouth, and this person has verbally stated in her last 30-minute video that you covered yesterday on your stream, hey, I don't want to do that. But you were just doing it like 6 months ago. How am I supposed to take anything that person says is true? I don't know if this person is going to flip at any point. I don't know if this person even believes the shit they're even saying. I'm pretty sure you know this because you talked about like religious zealots on your show, not even just with her. People don't actually know this. You're not supposed to have tattoos if you're a Christian. It actually literally said, I think word for word, thou shalt not put any like unwholesome ink on the body, something like that. I could be wrong, but I specifically remember that being something that stood out. Why does a Christian person like her have tattoos then? Like, that's kind of the thing that I'm getting at here is when someone exposes themselves like that, it's like, that's pretty eye-opening. What about you, man?
I think it's like you got to look at the time frame as well, right? Like when she started really getting really heavy into her faith and stuff like that. I was like around 2020, 2021, around that time when she started getting like super religious and stuff like that. And I've always said this, like, when somebody gets super religious like that, it's obviously because, they're having like a life-changing experience and things like that. And they're trying to change their ways and stuff. So, she had tattoos, she had old tweets and stuff. She had old photos and all that. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm not like, I can't really say much on it because, yeah, as you say, people can change and people can start doing other things. But you also have to remember again, time frame, right? So you can't sit here and like, down this when you were just promoting something that was exactly the same. It was exactly the same of what you're talking about. And I like when I went over on stream, I think that, she got it confused. Like, I get what she's saying. She's talking about like the actual Gunner games, and you're playing the game because you're thinking about, sexual things with those characters. And I pointed out on stream, there's a literal section of that on Steam. So if that's what you want to do, you can do that. Now, if that's the conversation that she wanted to have about those kind of games, sure, I hear you. But, if you're just saying, oh, a woman, with a little bit of her ass out is like Gunner bait and like, this is low key porn. No, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Because it sounds like she wants to have a argument that is essentially, hey, I want no nudity in video games at all, and anyone that puts it there is essentially a pervert or whatever. But the character that she idolizes, Lara Croft, is literally seen as a gaming sex symbol. Then the Ponchita thing she had in her background, people don't know, because I've only watched one episode of that anime because I thought it was just insanely cringe. I think it was that good, honestly. Chainsaw Man, right? That Ponchita is from an anime known as Chainsaw Man, and that main character, his biggest thing is going after the main girl because she has giant tits.
Yeah, he's a simp.
I'm not kidding. That's in episode 1. First episode.
For sure, yeah. That's his whole thing.
Yeah, even that balloon, whatever, that cutout that she had of Lara Croft in her background, it wasn't even like how you have normal cutouts, like they're like standing up, making a pose or whatever. That version of Lara Croft she has in her background has ass shorts and her thighs are out.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same problem that she had with the first Descendant? Because the girl was dead. That's the thing. And I tell people this. I even told you, commenting on your stream when I super chatted you. Well, the reason why I say women have generally really bad opinions, it's just because they they utilize everything with emotion. They're not thinking logically. If they didn't have the emotional attachment to a lot of their arguments, not just with her, a lot of women do this. I feel like their points would come across a lot better because the emotional weight of it is not there. But as she said, since God created everything, God did, if you believe in Christianity or whatever, God created women to be emotional, and that's kind of the crux of why I think their arguments are as bad as they are. They lack all sense of nuance. They lack all sense of sensibility. Their arguments are essentially so black and white. They lack the understanding that the general premise is not getting tackled. And I think you said it. I think Hypnotic said it too. I don't really care if there's gay characters in the game. I really don't. The only thing I really have a problem with is like troons, because I don't think that's a thing. You can't be trans, in my opinion, right? So if you're gay, you're bi, you're lesbian, that's cool, right? The T part is where I gotta draw the line at, because I don't think you can be trans. But what I hate that when it comes to like gay people is they don't portray gay people in a positive light. They're portrayed in the way that you and Hypnotic talk about, where they're just an agenda, right? They're just a checkbox, right? So I feel like gay people should be very mad at the studios, even though they are pandering to them. Is the fact that they're having all this pandering for gay people, and yet they still have never been presented in a way that has made them look good, you know? Because I agree with Hypnotic too. You can make essentially a gay character that's good. You can. I've seen it happen in Peacemaker season 1. The black lady was like that. Even in Lightyear, I thought the gay character in that was not bad. She was good. Awesome supporting character. I guess people say the kiss is the reason why the movie did as bad as it did, because it was banned or whatever. But to be fair, for being honest here, I watched the movie. The kiss didn't even happen. They didn't actually physically kiss. It just, they were going to, and then it just cuts, obviously. So I don't know how you feel about that, because essentially, since these people kind of run the industry, there's going to be gay people in it, right? It's just what it is, right? But I think the problem that people are bringing up as far as an agenda is they're taking like long-standing franchises and then just butchering them with, you could say DEI, right? Like Until Dawn, we'll use that for an example. The premise of that game is not what the movie is. So they're just putting a video game movie out that has no actual connection to the game. That will be an agenda to destroy that game's reputation. That's way different of a conversation that we're having versus what they're having, you know? Yeah. And I get that's a lot for a lot of people, but it's a clear distinction to understand what the companies are doing and what people are exactly mad about versus going like, you know what? We should all disagree on this. And if anyone disagrees with that, then that means that you're of this and you're that, and I don't like you, and you should get out of it. It's like, what in the world is that? You know?
Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, I've said it multiple times. The I think that's why. Well, I gotta save it for the video I'm gonna record tonight, so I don't really.
You better give me some freaking
let it out too much,
man.
But it's just the entire argument is not, oh, get the gays out, get the blacks out, get the women out. That was never the argument that people were having, because we've already had that kind of content, and that wasn't the issue. The issue is when you took all those things and you use them as vehicles for social messaging. That's where it became an issue, where you use somebody being gay as, oh, look how good we are because we have a gay person. And don't you love gay people? And don't you like this gayness and da da da? That's where it's like, okay, you're doing too much. You're taking things that are established and you're just slapping gay on it. Like, oh, are you happy now? That's like taking something that's already established and then slapping black on it and going, oh, are you happy now? It's like, no. That's the issue. It's like, no, you're taking things and twisting them just because, and we don't want that. So when people say, oh, get the gay shit out of the game, they're not actually saying, hey, get the gays out. They're saying stop portraying the gay people as just gay and promoting that just the gayness. That's what they're saying. So when you see people that are like, oh no, we got to get all the gays out, and oh no, we got to get the why do you have a black in the game, or all these other things, like, no, you're missing you're missing the point. You're not really on the same side of the road we are, essentially, because you're like, oh no, I don't want any of it in. And it's like, no, I'm not saying I don't want any of it in. I'm saying you need to learn nuance and moderation, because you say, oh, I don't want the gays in the game. Well, then you don't like Mass Effect. You don't like any of these other games where your character could be gay, but the story is really well, right? Yeah. So that was never the conversation. It's like, oh, well, we don't want the blacks in the game. Okay, then you don't like San Andreas, you don't like Halo, Sergeant Johnson, you don't like
Yep.
MW2, Sergeant Foley, or you don't like any of these other characters that were black, right? And then they're like, no, 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 I like that stuff. I'm like, okay, well then why are you saying it now? And then it's like, okay, I get the idea of pattern recognition and they're doing the same thing all over again. I totally get that. But this is why the conversation needs to be had by people who actually know what the fuck they're talking about, because it's like you have to be able to distinguish like what's actually happening from what you think is happening. Like with this is a perfect example, like The Witcher 4, right? Everybody's like, oh, it's woke, just because they saw Siri, right? Just Siri, not off the basis of anything else, just Siri. Now, if it's CD Project Red and all the ESG shit and DEI stuff they got going on in the company and the woke people working there and all of that, I get that, right? Yeah, you want to be afraid for how the game is going to be because of those people working on it. Cool. Totally get that. But just calling the game woke just because the woman is there and it's a character from a previous game that everybody loved, that's where it's like, oh, you're losing me. I'm not getting it. Right. I'm not getting the argument. Because if the argument is stop using these superficialities like gender, race, sexuality, uh, and using that as a vehicle for social messaging and to be more virtuous, then that needs to be the argument, not just have this stuff out of the game. That's you're doing the exact same thing that they did, where you go too far in a certain direction because they went too far left that now they're on the right. You're going too far right, you're going to end up on the left, right? It's too much. It's like we have to have a basis of what we're talking about. So when you have the super like religious people trying to demonize people for what they like and using these things to demonize you and call you losers and say, oh, you're not a real good person if you don't like this and that, that's when you lose people. That's when people go, well, fuck you. I'm not, just because I like attractive women doesn't make me a loser or a demon or nothing like that. I just like attractive women, So it's like the
Despite your
message
profile
don't get.
picture kind of explicitly looking like a demon, you know.
I mean, something like that, but
Or
it's like, come
it's
on, man.
yeah, because I think a lot of people who haven't even read the Bible, because I did at one point. Yeah, I did go to church. I don't go to church anymore. It's been a very long time. Do people know this? God, if you believe in Christianity or the versions of Christianity that are out there, God made women in his image. He wanted women to look like that. The scripture where it's like you're made in God's image. Well, he made every single woman in his image. So he obviously wants you to look at naked women. Because if he didn't, why would he have created them? If you're going off of that, just from a religious point of view, at a basis right there. So when people are like, the whole lust argument, lusting would be like if I saw a girl's ass bouncing like down the street and I would like walk up behind her and see her ass bouncing. Okay, that is obviously pretty cringe. You probably shouldn't be doing that. But that's not what a lot of people do. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people aren't doing that. So that would go into my other point, which is the whole argument where gamers only want hot, attractive women so they can just whack it when they're playing a game. I'm being honest here. There's no proof of that. There is
Yeah,
no proof
that's
that
not
guys
the
do that. And people
yeah,
say,
and that's
well,
not the
like
argument.
guys are gonna do it. But that's the key thing. If we're gonna go off of proof, and there is no proof for one thing, I don't believe it's true unless I've seen it. So I can tie that into another point. People say playing violent video games makes a person violent. It has been proven through multiple studies that it's not true under any circumstance. So that fear that if like you play Call of Duty, you'd want to go and shoot people, that's not true. They just made that up. You see how that right there,
Mm-hmm.
as a lie, got perpetuated to a lot of people and they just believe it. Kind of like the whole democracy argument. Do you guys know that democracy is not in the US Constitution? But a lot of public schools told you it was? It's not. Literally go and look it up. I challenge anyone to. Democracy is not a core fundamental American value. They tell you it is, but it's not. See how a lie just gets perpetuated when no one actually understands, fact checks, or actually even looks into something? They just kind of believe shit that they're told. As you
Yeah.
said, when they see a woman, they just automatically assume it's woke. And to be fair, you had a point there with your Ghost of Tsushima videos that you did, where you're like, this is actually something that they are pushing, but you had said that your source had brought up that the company itself went in this direction, but it wasn't actually the direction that studio even wanted. So that right there is an agenda. They wanted to specifically put that there for a reason that's not gaming related, even though on the surface it'll look like it when it's not. So to people, never just look at every situation the same. There's always nuances. Not everything is black and white.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that goes into the argument that we're talking about. And also shout out to everybody in the chat that are gooning right now. I know you're gooning.
Sorry.
I know you're I know you're
Operator.
having a good time listening to this. If you're bricked up in the chat, that's fine. We don't shame gooners over here. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. That's awesome. But
I agree with this one. Yep.
It's the it's the nuance takes that that should work. Where it's like, oh, hey, there's a gay character in it. Do I like, for instance, it's something completely different than like having a gay character and then like pushing that onto everyone, like the Last of Us show when that had the entire episode of just the two gay dudes. And then, they had that long ass gay sex scene. It was like, it was uncomfortable to watch because it's like, oh, I don't want to watch that. I'm not really with that. Game of Thrones, for instance, they had gay scenes as well, but it wasn't just, pushing it on you like, oh, these characters are gay. They're so gay. Don't you like the gayness? It's like, no, they're just gay. And that's a part of the story. There's heterosexual people there as well. So it's a different kind of thing where it's like, we have to understand what the balance is, right? Where it's like, oh, me personally, I truly don't give a shit. I don't care who you sleep with or what you look like, or if you're a man, you think you're a woman. I truly don't give a fuck if you're an adult. I don't care. What I care about is when you take those stuff and you try to put it into the media that I'm consuming where it doesn't belong. Like if I'm playing fucking Gears of War and you try to change one of the soldiers, like you try to make Marcus Phoenix gay or something like that, that's where I have a fucking problem, because it's like he wasn't gay. Don't do it just to do it, right? Or it's like, oh, the woman is so much better than the men because she's a woman. Now stop that shit. That's corny, right? Like that's the whole argument that at least I'm having and most people have. But then you have like the retards like fucking Andy Pants talking about, oh, we got to get all the gay stuff out, and oh, if you're cool with the gay stuff, you're a liberal, and just dumbness. It's like, well, now we're losing the plot here. Now I'm trying to figure out what it is that you're trying to talk about. And then of course nobody listens to Andy Pants anyway because he's a fucking retard. But it's like, yeah, come on, man, we gotta understand what we're talking about here.
Yeah, because I think a lot of that goes into another thing, which is the whole race swapping videos that you've been doing as a lot too. And I agree. I think a lot of people don't get it from their point of view. Like, let's say if you're not a fan of something, the average person will be like, well, I don't really mind that they changed it. Well, that's the point though. If you're someone that's not as involved in something, you're not going to care what happens because you're just not as involved. But that person thinks that because they didn't care or they weren't involved as much as you were in something, that automatically makes that your opinion means less, and that what you're saying means less. So it's like, no. I'm the reason why this exists because I've been the one supporting it, right? So we'll use a one that just came out recently, that How to DEI Your Dragon. Sorry, How to Train Your Dragon, actually, where they race swapped Astrid, okay? And a lot of people are going to be like, I don't care if I didn't really watch How to Train Your Dragon. That doesn't mean that you should automatically just go and race swap a character, obviously, because keep in mind, the person that wanted the character to look like that, which was the creator who made that character, literally wanted them to be that way, So it's racists of the studio that changed that character to look like that. That's just what it is, So when you're looking at all of that, you have to kind of understand that gaming goes a lot into that too, where, it's all based. I mean, do all these guys have an agenda? I would imagine that they do. Melanie Mack and John Trank. Well, good Lord, man. Well, we are a representative republic, which is a form of a controlled democracy. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. El Pubris, which is ignored by. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord.
I'm back. I had baby was whining.
God, man. Why you gotta be having sex, man? Kids and
because I'm a heterosexual male and I love women.
I am
I have my man.
heterosexual too. I had sex with like 100 women. Do you believe me? Press A to agree.
Yeah, man. I believe it when you wait and then you wake up and then you're back to reality. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm just saying. Hey, man, okay, before we back to the conversation, top 3 sex positions. Let's go.
Oh my god, really? All right. Obviously, doggy missionary and off the uh off the ledge of the bed. You know what I mean? Awesome,
Oh,
awesome ones.
good lord.
Yeah.
You don't do reverse cowgirl? You don't like that?
No, man, I'm a small dude. I can't.
You're a short king? No way.
I'm a small dude. I can't have all that. Just
Oh my
crush me.
god.
That'll just crush me, bro.
Oh god, man. Kaida is a short king. That proves that the short guys out there can get a lady, you know?
Oh, I've
Because
never had that issue ever a day in my life.
really? Okay.
Never. And
Gosh, man.
even when I was really skinny, and I don't understand how. Never had that issue.
Do you still have like memories of being in the army? Because you were in the army at one point. You think it was a great experience you went through? Now looking back on it,
Oh, it was great. Would I
Mhm.
do it again? No, but it was
Yeah.
very fun, great experience. I had a lot of fun, a lot of irritation, a lot of lessons learned, and I'm still paying for it. My legs hurt, my back hurt, my fucking neck hurt, all of it.
Gosh, man. What were you doing? Were you on the front lines or something?
No, I was airborne, so I jumped out of airplanes.
Oh
So
my god.
yeah,
So you were like essentially those guys that we see in the movies that they're flying out. They have the parts on the under their arms where you just have to pray that you
yeah,
don't die. What? That's insane. How did you not like get claustrophobic or anything? How did you not like puke or anything? What the hell?
man. I'm a man. They said, "Hey, jump out that airplane for $250 extra dollars on your paycheck." I'm jumping out that fucking airplane. So that's what happened.
You're insane. Do you know that? You're insane.
So they say. So they say.
Oh gosh. So how did you actually meet Atreus, the person that you have
Uh,
for your podcast on New Black Street?
that's funny because it wasn't supposed to be Atreus. It was supposed to be Abomination AJ.
Oh, I
This was
remember
like
him. What happened to that
yeah,
guy?
this was back in like it was like back in like March, maybe like March or
Yeah,
February or March. I hit up Abomination AJ.
yeah.
What's up, D Mag? I see you in the chat. BS Warren, all you guys. Sorry, we're just chatting and shit. And this ain't my stream. I'm just streaming it to you guys because I thought you would like to hear it. So that's why I haven't
And
really
if you
been.
guys are watching it from Kaida's, point of view on his channel, you can go over here and subscribe to me, Big
Yeah,
Daddy Riz Master Top G.
sub up to Master Swag. Help him get some Riz and help him get bitches.
What are you talking about? I got the Riz, man. Come on, dude. It's easy, man. You gotta
Go
go up
help
to a
my boy
girl.
Master Swag
This
pull
man
some
is out here
bitches.
doing me dirty. Literally, if you guys are outside of a dance club, go up to a girl and be like, "Hey, yo, where would you like me to leave it at?" Game. Easy. Would that work?
Yeah, that'll definitely work and not get you on a list. Yeah.
Okay, these are like 20-year-old women here. I hate you. This man trying to get me in
Oh,
trouble. Oh my god.
share the link. Hold on. I got you guys.
Oh
Hold on.
god, man. I hate it, dude. This man's killing me, man.
Let me get the link for you guys. I'll drop it in the
Okay.
chat. I will drop it right in the chat for you guys.
That's why you gotta have a white black man like Kaida help another white black man like myself out, you know?
I'm a black man that they think is white because I know how to speak proper English.
Oh god.
But yeah,
Crazy?
there's his channel. Go sub up to Master Swag and shout
Thank
out to
you.
Master Swag because when I first started making videos, he had me on and that was awesome. So that was cool.
Yeah, man, you were at like 500 subs exactly at that point.
Just about, yeah.
Just about, yeah. And now when you get bigger, you're gonna be like, man, I remember that naga. Don't forget me, man. When you hit the top,
man, hopefully
me.
I hit 10K before my birthday. That'll be nice.
When's your birthday?
In May 14th. So
Ooh,
we got
are you gonna be
4
coming
months.
out to the Vegas meetup?
Vegas.
If
If the VA doesn't stop fucking me over, yeah, I should be.
Okay,
But
I'll be there too, so we can like do some black guy stuff.
yeah,
Fist bump.
everybody's gonna be there, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Even
Like
Shirley
I need
Gurley
a
might be there too. She didn't go
yeah,
last year,
she's
but
gonna be there. She's gonna be
damn it,
there. I need
I need
to
to get a
figure out.
picture. Yeah, pick her
I
up.
need to figure. No, I need to figure out like lodging shit. Like, am I gonna get it? Am I gonna get an Airbnb? Or they all getting an Airbnb or like a hotel? I haven't even talked to them about that shit. I should probably figure it out
Probably,
because it's
yeah.
like
It'd be better if
because
it's earlier because that way you
yeah,
don't do it like last minute. Because a lot of people did that stuff last minute. They were like, "What the fuck do we even do? Where we stay?" It's like,
yeah, we still
what?
got like
Where you
three and
come
a
right
half
now?
more months, so it's
Sure. Yeah.
fine. Yeah. So
Mhm.
we'll if the VA stops fucking playing, then yeah, I'll definitely
Mhm.
be there. But okay, so back to the thing with
Yeah.
Atreus, it wasn't supposed to be him, it's supposed to be AJ. But AJ's work schedule couldn't allow it, so I just kept it on the back burner.
Mhm.
And then I saw Atreus, I saw his video on Twitter, and I saw that he was like followed by D-Day Cobra, fucking Hypnotic, and all of them. And this was when I was still new. I didn't really know anybody like that, and
Mhm.
I was just looking around. I was like, I mean, "Fuck it, I'll ask him." And he was like, "Yeah, we'll do it." I'm like, "Yeah, we should do a stream together, weekly, and just like talk crap." Since they want to cancel both of us, we should just do a stream, and then just make fun of them, and then we'll use their hate to grow us. And he was just like, all right, yeah, we could do it. And we literally sat on that idea for 3 months. Like nobody knows.
Yeah.
This was like back in May. Back in May, I hit him up like right after my Assassin's Creed video blew up and shit. I hit him up in May, and then we sat on that idea from May, June, July, and then,
Mhm.
we finally settled on everything like at the end of July, and then we did it in August and all that stuff. And then, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I always tell people it was not really supposed to take off the way that it did. I didn't think it would. And then we weren't supposed to get the people that we have coming on the stream. Like we got fucking Eric July tomorrow. That's retarded. Like,
Hold on. You
why
guys
is
are gonna
he?
talk to a black man?
Yes,
That's
an
racist.
actual the black Stan Lee is gonna be on our stream tomorrow. And it's like, bro, what? We don't even have 1,000 subs on the channel yet. But it's crazy, man. And then
Mhm.
who else? Like, oh, I can't tell you. But next week we gotta
It's a private
we
chat.
gotta
You know me.
nah
I don't leak anything.
we got a bunch of nosy people in a stream right now. But we got another guest next week who's it's gonna be awesome when they
Oh,
come
so
on.
it's a guy. So at least we know it's a he. Okay.
I said they, so you never know.
Oh, I know this man trolling. I know it's a dude. I know it's a guy.
Yeah,
What?
tomorrow
Okay.
is the guy. Yeah, Ripper.
I don't
Yes, we got.
him
Yeah,
because
Primal One. Yeah, we got Eric July, Young Ripper on New Black Street tomorrow. Yes, they
motherfuckers
them.
just
Yeah,
made him. Good
they used
lord,
to. They
man.
probably were like that before. You never know. People change.
Yeah,
Shit. We had Melanie Mack on. Like she was like our third guest or something like
that's
that.
crazy. Look
You
how
know what I
things have
mean?
changed.
Hopefully she comes back on, but I don't know.
That's,
We'll see. We'll see if she comes back on in the future.
I'm
I'll
just
hit
saying,
her
man.
up.
You know how women are. Women, no, and like no offense to her, but women hold some of the biggest grudges out there. Like a dude,
Oh yeah.
let's say I was in Texas right now and I accidentally bumped you and we started fighting each other, we'd be like, it's all good. We move on with our lives, right? Girls don't do
Hmm.
that. Girls are some of the most petty people on the planet. They will literally hold grudges and not even tell you. You know, the whole like straw that broke the camel's back shit. Like a girl will be mad at some shit months ago. And then you have an argument with them, but that month you didn't like sweep the floor. It's like you're still mad about that?
Yeah,
Girls do that all the time.
that's what they do. But
Uh,
women can't live with them, can't live without them. But man, we'll see, man. Like it's ridiculous. The show is just getting better. Fucking,
yeah.
we're gonna have people on the show. Hopefully that not everybody likes. Hopefully that's the plan. I would love to have I would love to have
Alyssa
Alyssa
Mercante.
Mercante.
Oh,
I would love to
dang.
have Alyssa Mercante
Woo.
on stream. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I would love to have
Yeah.
her on stream. And I already had Paris and Khalif on,
I remember
and
that one.
everybody knows I don't like Khalif. I don't like Khalif, but I would have him on again. I would
Yeah.
have him on again, and I
He
would let him,
said he came
say
to
his
your
piece.
stream in good faith. The one thing I didn't agree with anything he said. There was one that I
I didn't
really
agree with
just was
shit
like,
he said.
yeah. There was one I was about to just explode because you were doing that stream when I was at work on my halves, and I was like, you know what? I ain't got time to watch some League of Legends games because those take too long. I'll just watch your show. So I was watching it, and you guys were talking about the whole the guy on Steam. His name is Brutus, right? The guy with
Yeah,
the Steam
Brutus, yeah.
account. Where, for those you don't know, there was a guy on Steam named Brutus where he basically listed every single game Sweet Baby Inc. was involved in, and all he said was that, hey, if their name is in a game, I'm not buying it. It's pretty much all he said, and he posted a thing on Twitter or whatever about how many games they're actually involved in. Then on your show, I don't know if he's just like retarded. He literally made an argument that someone should just be canceled and lose all of their games that they paid their own hard-earned money for on stream or gifted from other people, that the person, because they said these things, he should just lose his account. What in the world? That was a rational argument he made. And I was like, that's crazy.
If he
that's
said
wild.
that, I truly don't remember that. Like, and if he did, that's fucking retarded. Like,
I can see, man. Go back. That was the argument he was making. He was essentially saying, like, well, Brutus kind of put it out there about Super Baby Inc. And it's like, hey, if you kind of do these things, you should kind of get some punishment. It's like, punishment for what? You just listed games they were involved in. But he didn't do anything wrong.
I really don't remember that. I know he said a lot of dumb stuff, which it was fine. You know, if you want to say some dumb things, say some dumb things. You know, that was the point of the stream, was to get them on and to just let them talk. You know, it wasn't really like a debate. It was just to let them speak and let them talk. That's why I let them talk to the people in the comments and let them go off and shit. Because it's like, that's what that was about. But like the other stream that I just did the other day, that's not what that was about. That was like, oh, somebody actually had a problem with me, and you know, they wanted to debate me on something. So I was like, okay, I'll let you on, and I'll fuck that nigga up for like 3 hours. You know, so it's like, so it was like, hey,
wait,
I mean,
you did that a 3 hour stream? I don't think I seen that one. I didn't get no notifications.
It was on Saturday. So on Saturday, after Saturday Night Hypnosis, right? I was supposed to, because every Saturday, shameless plug, I stream after SNH, and I'm basically doing like the cool down where we just chill out.
So like what Epic Mike does after,
something like that. Yeah.
And you're both black. You can't make this up.
I definitely stole it from him. 100%. I stole it from him.
Of course you steal.
I saw him do it one time. I was like, hell yeah, I'm doing that. So yeah, after every SNH, we do a cool down. You know what I mean? And then so it was supposed to be a cool down, and we talked about Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft, but there was a hater in the chat, and I recognized his name, and I remember he said he would like to get on stream one time, so I invited him on. And no, you got to watch the stream, dude. It was so fucking dumb. Like, trying to get through that conversation with that guy, like, I legitimately got fucking pissed off because that dude Kenny was so dumb. And I keep forgetting I need to add that to the intro. I need to add it to the intro of my streams, where it's like, oh my god, you killed Kenny. It is a picture of Kenny. I gotta do that because I fucked Kenny up. Rest in peace to Kenny's clout chasing, because he's never ever going to get on a stream with anybody else after what I did to him. So rest in peace, Kenny.
Oh god, man. You know what I think? A lot of people will never admit this, dude. I think they don't even disagree. I think they're faking half of what they're talking about. I think they're angry because their opinion holds not the same level of weight as someone like yours. Have you ever felt that way? Like where someone's
I don't think it's necessarily that. I think they're upset because I have the opinion and I'm not afraid to say the opinion. I think that's more of what it is. Because like, you know, they'll be like, oh, you coon and you all this other stuff, right? They'll say all that kind of shit. And then when you actually give your position, what does it go to? It goes to just more attacks, more deflection, more any of that. Or like, just like with the Assassin's Creed video, right? When I dropped it, the entire point was, hey, we know why you put him in. It's because he's black. And I have an issue with that because that's disingenuous. It's disrespectful. And it's not really authentic. It's just virtuing, right? Well, what was the first thing everybody said? Oh, he hates black people. It's like, nigga, did you not listen to anything I said? So it's like, you know, they're upset that I have an opinion and it's not the right opinion, you know, whatever the right opinion is we're supposed to have, which we don't even know because nobody can fucking tell me what, as a black man, we're supposed to be thinking. So they're upset that we go against the grain. You know, that's pretty much usually what it is. They're upset because we go against the grain, we push back, and we're not afraid to say what it is that we want to say.
That's the crazy thing that I see a lot of them do, is that they want to promote that things should be black this and black opinions and all this other stuff. But at the moment any black person disagrees with them, because they're usually most of the time wrong, it's crazy that most of the people doing that are straight white people. Huh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's ironies of all ironies, right? That they'll start calling you coon, they'll start saying all these crazy things about you. It's like,
Yeah.
am I not supposed to have a different?
I'm the black face of white supremacy, as they say.
Like, do they think that all black people just think the same and they think that they're oppressed or whatever? I think they genuinely think that. They think every single black person they see goes through the exact same things that they hear on like the news or the shit that fucking teachers will tell them. They generally don't see black people as individuals. They see them as just one group. That's what when any of these like white people talk, I'm not even being racist. I'm saying this is just what I see out of liberal white people. They'll tell you things about black people, and it's like, my black friend experienced this. I'm like, huh? Okay, all right. Like, they're essentially trying to essentially push an idea for black people that is even there. I'll even educate you guys on something about black people that you may not even know. So black people make up what, like 13% of the population, right? Here in America, about 13%, right?
Something like that,
roughly. Do people know they commit almost 50% of the crime? I'm not talking about a per capita thing. They commit 50% of the crime. Okay. Then people will be like, but police kind of target them. They commit most of the crime. So by just that very nature of that logic, that means they're going to interact with the cops more. Just by that alone. Keep in mind, that's just crime that we know about that they do. That they just do. Did you catch them for? What about crime that you don't see them do? You know? But then certain people are pushing this as like, no, they're being targeted. There's cops going after black people. Even on that argument, I've also learned that situation for like, I think you probably saw it too. Unarmed black people, like I say, attacked interaction with cops, right? Is only like 15%. So we're talking unarmed, so like weapon next to them, obviously. All of that only happens very little, but the media will portray it as like it's always happening.
Yeah. It's because of social media. That's all. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. Like when the plane stuff was happening and they were like, oh my God, there's so many like plane things that are happening. It's like, no, that shit happens all the time. We're just on social media and it's being like looked at now. There was probably like a malfunction on a plane today that you didn't hear about, you know, because it wasn't in the news. It wasn't a hot topic. It's because of social media. That's all it is.
Yeah. If people watch like Charlie Kirk or Officer Tatum, you can see just how dumb some of these women are. Some of these guys are retarded, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But God, the women are just so stupid. Literally, one of them didn't even realize they were being racist, and they just stopped talking to one of them. They're like, you know what? You should be happy for your white privilege. I'm leaving. What in the world? And you just ask them, what thing that I can do that you can't? I even ask black people this too. What can you do that I can't? And vice versa. They'll never have an answer. They'll talk about systemic racism. And yeah, that may have been a thing a while ago, like in the 50s, 60s, 40s. Sure, I fully understand that probably maybe was a thing back then, you know? But now we're talking like the 2000s. Nothing's stopping a black person from doing anything. The only thing that's stopping them is themselves. Yeah, people say, well, there's going to be hurdles and like people are going to be bigoted or not bigoted. What's the word? Prejudiced against them. Okay. There's people in the world that are going to be that way. That doesn't mean you just like don't try to achieve anything. What the hell? That's stupid. Just constant victim mentality. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and they don't see it that way.
Mindset.
Yeah. Or remember the one about the whole like the whole crack thing, the way they put like drugs in black people neighborhoods or whatever. So I'm not saying that didn't happen, but no one had how would I say this? No one had a gun to that black person's head to tell him to smoke the crack. Just pointing out, no one ever brings up that as an argument. Yeah.
Well, it was coke, not crack, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of coke here. So that's like saying, hey, there's a bunch of great white sharks in a lake, but if there's a pot of gold there, I'll jump in there and get it. It's like, no, you probably shouldn't do it at all. We'll just kill you. No one had a gun to those black people's heads to make them do that. They just willingly did it. And then they were like, you know what? Time to blame the white man. You all willingly just started becoming drug addicts. Willingly. Yeah, it was put there. That is an influence. That doesn't mean you have to do it. You know? Like I'm just pointing out. I don't get why people just don't want to blame black people for any of the problems they have. The black single mother thing. So you date a black girl, right? That's your mom, right?
Yeah, I gotta preface that my girlfriend's black because a lot of dumbass people in there like, oh, I bet you date a white girl. It's like, nah, I date a black girl.
My first girlfriend's Latina, but she's her. I swear, her brain
equal opportunity fucker. But I got a black girl, obviously.
Hey,
just cause.
Ah, God, man, I can't do black girl porn, man. That shit is fucking trash, dog. Every other porn is better. Not bro, black girl porn, dog shit. That shit is awful.
I'm like the opposite. I'm like, I can't do it, bro. I can't do the white shit because I don't like the way the white girls moan. It's kind of corny. To me, it fucking throws me off.
I can't do the Asian one sometimes. Asian one, I gotta like play that shit on mute. I can't. The moaning is so bad. It's so cringe, man.
Yeah, for real.
MSK, you should talk about the Switch 2 soon. Oh yeah, that's what I didn't forget about that. I was just bringing up, I don't know what, like the media just victimizing black people so bad to the point where they can only see themselves as victims. People should go watch the episode that Tim Scott was on The View, and one of those light-skinned women, even though she says she's like pro-black, dates a Jew, a white guy. It's crazy how that works, right? A lot of these women tell you should be pro-black, but then their actions themselves show they don't even date black men. Crazy world we live in, like that Boston mayor where she wanted to exclude white people from her Christmas party. She was like, you know what? No straight white men. It's like you're dating one. You have 3 kids. What? Like, I don't know if you feel this way, man. Women are some of the biggest hypocrites out there. All they care about is public image. That's it. And how people see them. That's it. Even if they themselves do not even live that life privately, they have to keep a public image up of I'm this. It's crazy, man. Asian is the best. Good Lord. Wong Ching Chong for life, man. Hey, I like Asians too. No, I don't remember. I like Asian porn. That shit is fire. But they start moaning. It's like, oh my gosh, so cringe. I can't do it. Kamala Harris, she's Indian. She's not even black. She's not black. She herself is not black. And black during the election, they were like, I gotta vote for her. She's black. You're stupid. Low IQ idiots. Literally just low IQ morons out there. But we'll talk about the good old Switch 2. I know this is going to be controversial. I'm sorry. That shit looks the same as the Switch. It's slightly bigger. And
bro,
I know about the joysticks. It doesn't look that good, honestly. It looks the same.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't even watched the trailer because I was waiting for stream tomorrow. Yo, my boy, Trelly C just donated a 10 to your boy. Shout out Trelly C.
Trelly C,
with
man.
The 10
I know he dated a white girl.
Black folks today know they have power through grievance. It's laziness. I see it as insulting for black people to squander the opportunities that our ancestors sacrificed to give us today. Thanks for the 10, bro. I 100% agree with that.
10 in spirit.
I 100% agree with that, bro. Like that's why it always frustrates me when I see people do the victim mindset thing, because it's like, okay, if we were in the 60s, even the 70s, 80s, I can understand. I can understand when you like, oh, you're being held back because you're black. There's certain opportunities you can't get because you're black. We've had a black president. I don't want to hear shit.
Twice.
I don't want to hear shit.
We elected him twice.
One of the richest people in the country.
Luck.
Yeah.
We elected him twice. Yeah.
Fucking LeBron James. Look at LeBron James. Look at all these other people that have been successful in black. Like,
so many
you can't use that as a crutch anymore because it's not one. Like we've gotten, and that's why I love like the early 2000s, late 90s. We got over that shit. You got over that shit. Most people, I didn't give a, when I was growing up, I didn't care if you were white, black, whatever. We were just chilling. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely laziness, and it's a way to not accept responsibility for your own actions. That's really what it is.
That's all it is.
It's like, oh, it's because I'm black, and it's deflecting responsibility from yourself, which always irritates me because it's like, yeah, my fucking grandmother had to drink from a different water fountain, and I could go to a water fountain right now and load up 3 bottles of water if I wanted to without anybody stopping to want to hang me, right? Like I hate that. Like, oh, we're
Mhm.
so bad. No, it's not.
And people
You're
will
making
tell
it
you
bad
it's
for
more
yourself.
racist. People will tell you it's still just as bad as it was then. Based off what you just said, you could literally go and get your water jug filled up. You know, they have those companies you can fill up those water bottles or whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah, no one's gonna be going outside hanging you. And if someone tries to do that, they're
Yeah,
obviously not staying to the head and they're obviously a criminal, obviously.
I
But
can
the
I
fact
can
that you
hit on
don't
a
have to
white
do that,
girl.
yep,
I can hit on a white girl right now and not be a fear of like a gang of white people jumping me. Well, okay, that one you might say I created too. It depends on where you at. It depends on where you at, but still, in general, like I
mhm,
could go talk to a white chick if I wanted to, and
yeah,
without fear of the entire town coming and Emmett Till in my ass, right? Like that's
yeah.
actual oppression. That's actual racism. You know what I mean? We
Mhm.
don't have to deal with that shit. So I'm like, I don't know why we're pretending that we do.
The fact that people think it's just as racist then as it is now is ridiculous. That's
Yeah, it's
literally
ridiculous.
not. People have to understand. If it was just as bad as then as it is now, you wouldn't have colleges with different races of people, all types of races of people. And for being honest here, didn't blacks have their own schools? We had
We
all
still
black
do,
schools at one
yeah.
point.
HBCUs still had those.
Yep. And I wonder who was advocating for black only dormitories back in
Mm,
2023. Crazy, right? And like you said earlier with Barack Obama, we elected him twice. So one time you could be like, that was luck. Second time wasn't luck. You got elected again. All those black people you just mentioned, all successful that the media constantly props up. So the media is constantly propping up black people, yet they're constantly telling them, yet they're also constantly victimizing them. I don't get it. I don't
I don't
get
get it
why people
either.
even believe anything from legacy media anymore. Trash. Oh, Fabian. Yeah, no, I knew what you were saying. Yeah, it's just I live in a crazy world here. You know, Malcolm X did say, "Be aware of the white liberal." He did say that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh
LeBron
yeah. I
still
was
plays
always
the
more of a
victim. Yeah.
Malcolm X guy than MLK
Mhm.
because Malcolm X was like he was like, hey, obviously these people aren't going to help you. Help yourself, right? Do things yourself. Don't accept the handouts. Don't accept the hand me downs and shit. That's why I always say like I don't like the race swaps because it's a hand me down. That's not
I
yours.
hate race
Somebody else
swaps.
gave you that. They gave you that and said, "Hey, here you go, black boy. Feel good." Like, it's disrespectful.
Right?
So,
No, like I fucking can't stand that. Like, there's race swaps people will say that are fine. Like, obviously, the biggest one is like Michael Clark Duncan playing Kingpin. But what did they do with the Daredevil TV show for Netflix? They didn't do a black Kingpin because they realized how stupid that was to do. I was saying Michael Clark Duncan did a bad job. He did a great job, but he doesn't look like Kingpin. I'm sorry, or Jeffrey Wright in the Batman. Don't look
yeah,
like no
same.
James Gordon. Like, and that's something people forget. Well, if you just cast the right actor for the right job, they'll do a good job. It's like, why can't you cast someone that looks like the character and also get them to do a good job? Those two things can both coexist together. Because
Yeah.
if the acting is good, you should expect a good performance regardless. Because people are like the acting is all that matters. No, yes, it obviously does matter about the acting, but you should expect that out of them. I should expect the person that I'm giving millions of dollars to puts in their hardest effort. I should expect it just from base alone, you know? And keep in
Yeah.
mind what I said earlier about the how to DI your dragon with Astrid. A lot of people, what's crazy? People should interview indie creators on their shows and see how much passion they have for creating something. Creators created those characters to look that way based off of life experiences and what they learned and what they liked growing up. It is so disrespectful to completely change them. It is. Imagine if
It
you
is.
created something. Imagine you're the creator of how to Train Your Dragon, and they just made her black. You're like, I never wanted her to look like this. And people say that's racist. It's not. Actually, it's not. I'm not hating on the actress they chose for Astrid. Maybe she might do a good job. Maybe she will. That's not the. You said earlier where people are misconstruing the arguments. The argument is not if I think she's going to do a bad job. She doesn't look like this, and she herself is
Yeah.
going to get. She herself, I feel bad for her. She's going to get so much unnecessary hate because the studio chose to put her in a bad position. Same thing
Yeah.
with Halle Bailey, your bitch who played Little Mermaid and shit. You know,
Yeah,
same
Haley
with
Bailey.
Disney
Yeah.
recently. I thought this for Snow White they would cast a white lady. Snow White literally stated, "Skin as pure as white snow." They casted a Puerto Rican.
Yeah. I mean, and then people pretend like I always hate when people act like it's not a visual medium. These are visual mediums. We know what they look like.
Yeah,
It's different if you have a book
even
that
with Harry
vaguely
Potter, it's the
describes
same
something.
way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Harry Potter, they describe how these characters look, so that's not something that you could pretend you don't know what they look like, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's different if you have something that's not described versus something that is described and you can visually see what it looks like. So it's like, yeah, just stop
Mm-hmm.
doing that,
And the only people that accept that shit is tourists who don't know who don't even like have a modicum of interest in comic books or the stuff anyway. So
Yeah.
I understand why their arguments are why I'm not that much into this. I don't care. Well, wait a minute. Why should you be pandered to? You don't even like this. I expect you not to care. So when you're going back and forth with some of these people, it's like if you don't care, why am I talking to you? Because that's one of the easiest thing someone can tell you when you know they don't have an argument is, well, I don't care. Well, if you don't care, then why are you mad that other people are mad that their favorite shit is getting race swap, gender swap, and not portrayed in a way that they think the franchise, movie, video game, TV show should be portrayed? If you legitimately don't care, then you should not be mad that other people are mad. But then these not corporate chills. I would say it's an understatement. Some of these people that say they're not corporate chills will literally get on their fucking knees and lick the balls of these fucking people if they actually had a chance to for access.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
sure.
Some of the people that listen to music like Rage Against the Machine, all those metal bands growing up, some of these people are the biggest corporate ball lickers ever. It's insane, you know?
Yeah, it's absolutely dumb. It's
We're literally in a place now, like you say on Twitter or Facebook, where if you say you're against race swaps, that means you're a racist. And it's like, first of all, it's racist of the company to change it anyway. We don't have a problem with the race. We're actually fine with it. That's cool. Keep it that way, you know? But then someone's like, well, that lacks innovation. Not true. In comic books, there are multiple different versions of these characters. Not only do they do not sell very well, they are not appealing. They're written like just straight up bad. Because even in comics, which already has a niche of an audience, people there don't like that. So why would that work on movies? You know what Marvel did? Because you know about the all new, all different Marvel thing. They tried doing that with the
I
MCU
remember
because people said, well, the MCU took all these risks in phase 1, 2, and 3. They did risk in phase 4 and phase 4 and 5. It has not worked. Those risks are stupid. Not every time you take a risk is gonna work, you know? God, man, people are fucking mouth breathers. Holy shit.
mouth breathers. I love that. I love that term. It's so funny, man.
God, people said window lickers and glue eaters. Nah, like people are just dumb. Like anything to suck off a fucking corporation, they'll do it. And hey, if a corporation ever did something good, I would be like, hey, I actually genuinely like this idea. But I'm not gonna just get on my hands and knees for everything they do. That's what a lot of people do. You should be grateful you get this. No, why the fuck I don't? If I don't give them money, they don't have said thing. We're the reason why it exists because the people that created it gave us something you liked. We gave you money. For years, you gave them money. And now they're at this point, like in gaming, which is what you cover on your channel, where they don't get the same amount of money anymore. And they're panicking because we don't have guaranteed access to these people's money anymore because you screwed them over. That's why you don't have the guaranteed access anymore. Like you've been talking about with one of your favorite franchises, Assassin's Creed. Yeah, a little. Do you pronounce it Ubisoft or Ubisoft?
It's Ubisoft.
They're literally going to be bought out by Tencent, you know, the same company that owns Riot Games, Epic Games, because they've been making no money. Star Wars Outlaw, mega flop. Who's playing that shit these days? Assassin's Creed game. That's kind of like the make or break for them right now. You know?
Yeah.
That's where it's at with them.
Yeah, they're done for. I mean, there's nothing they could do to save their company. They are completely fucked.
What possible way do you see them getting out of this? How many copies? How many copies do you think of Assassin's Creed they got to sell just to even be in the clear a little bit?
Shit, and that bro. Even if this is like a mega banger success, which it won't be, it's still not going to make up for the budget that they used on the game or the previous flops. Like just Skull and Bones alone, they're not going to be able to recoup that money. so they're fucked either way.
Yeah. Honestly, I see in the gaming future kind of like the blitz. Oh, sorry about that. The heck,
Bobby?
Hypnotic Stream started playing. And I was like, it's kind of. I thought you were monologuing to me in your brain. My
No,
fucking
the
shit
hell?
is fried, dude. Uh, yeah. So, well, what's that thing I was saying? Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I agree with you. I think at some point we're gonna see a lot of consolidation in the gaming industry, kind of like when Blizzard was taken over by my Microsoft. We're gonna see that a lot in the future. I guarantee you. You're gonna see big corporations like them and other ones like Sony buying up a bunch of different game studios because they can't survive alone. Because remember what the Sony CEO was like? He was like, man, it costs so much money to make these games now. It was like $250 million for a AAA game. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they do too much. They do too much. The budgets are too huge. Like
Yeah.
there's no reason why you should be spending that much money on a game. Like there isn't. Especially when you look back in the day of the games that we have and how good they are for like 1/4 of those budgets, right? It's crazy to think that they need to spend that much money. I would never understand it. I would never understand it, but that's how they keep failing.
How did labor costs get that huge? Because it's labor you have to pay most of it to get these things done. Damn, that's what's called inflation. Good luck. But these guys voted for all these people to push the inflation like that. But different conversation for another day. So last few things I'll ask you before we head out of here, which is, do you have anything planned coming up in 2025 that you want to let the audience know about?
Yeah, we're really trying to really grow New Black Street. We didn't think it would take off the way that it has, but it is.
What about New White Street, man?
No, there's already an old white road. All right, somebody stole that. Fucking Ryan Rogers spear chucker Athe stole it from us. So there's already that version. But yeah, other than that, yeah, we're just trying to make it bigger, try to make it better. Hopefully the goal is 1,000 before the end of the year. That would be nice. But if we get past that, then we'll go to 5K and then 10K and all that stuff. I'm trying to get to 10K by my birthday, all the other stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's just only thing I gotta plug is just just stick around, hang out. We're doing a thing. We're growing. And don't be one of those dudes that try to come in later like, oh man, bro, I always knew y'all was gonna do it. Don't do that because I'm gonna cut you off. Don't do it. No, you're gonna be like, no, you weren't in the chat. Nope. You weren't Cryptid Beats or Trelly C or none of those guys that were in the New Black Street chats or S Tier Mortal. You wasn't those guys that was in the streams with us every Friday. Yep. Don't do that. So if you want to get in before it gets hot, you should, because it will get hot. And as you can see for the people we have coming on, it will get hot. So yeah.
I don't know how you get these people on, man. I try and I just get ignored for the most part. Don't even take me seriously. That's fucking crazy.
I literally just asked like fucking Melanie Mac. I didn't think that would work. I just said, hey, you want to come on stream? And she was like, yeah, I'll come on. Yeah, for sure. And I'm like, oh, well, shit. All right, we got Melanie Mac. It's just like, I just ask. And yeah, go sub up to my boy Master Swag too. He's funny, as you can see.
Yeah. So before we head out, last thing I'll ask you is, do you have any shout outs you want to give to anyone in particular, and anything else you want to say before we head out?
I've already did my shout outs. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to my boy Trelly C for the 10. This was a little impromptu putting it on my channel. I didn't even plan to stream it through my channel, but I did, and y'all came through, so I appreciate it. I need to stop doing impromptu streams and actually make a schedule. So we gotta figure that out. So yeah,
Jay,
what's up, Jay man? Viper?
Yeah, we were supposed to do a one-on-one too. He was just busy at the time, so we gotta make sure we set that up. But yeah, man, for anyone that is going to watch this on Kaida's YouTube channel on the replay, subscribe to me if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, Master Swacking is the channel name. And yeah, it was great having you on again, man. Can we for a second appearance where we can talk a little bit longer? Because Kaida was like, you know what? You only get an hour of my time to please me and satisfy me. I'm like, yes, daddy. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you never said that shit to me. Because I'd be like, yeah, I'm not coming on your stream, you fucking British cigarette.
Mike G. Yeah, it's crazy.
What's up, Mike G?
People will say, yeah, MSK, there's no black people that agree with you. I beg to differ. They just don't come out and say it because, backlash and people talking and all that shit. But I don't care. White women do it best. White queens' lives matter. But thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show. And we'll see you guys later.